What does a successful sales agent have in common with Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Kirby Puckett, some of the greatest baseball players? It's the 30% rule. The secret to their success for all these baseball legends is they hit an average, batting average, career average of around 300, some 341, some 320, but overall career average of all these legends that are some of the baseball greats are averages 300. And the successful sales agent, if they also swing or bat, but in our world, phone calls, and get the results of 30%, you're also going to make millions of dollars. That's what we have in common. And the secret to all these baseball legends is, can they get on base? That's it. Now, for those that are baseball enthusiasts, you can relate to this. Imagine going up to bat 100 times and you strike out or you miss 70 of those 100 attempts. Could you imagine that? How discouraging can that be? But if you hit 30%, these baseball legends, and the current ones like the Mike Trouts, they're going to get paid $30 million a year, $20 million a year, $40 million a year. Are you willing to go at bat, make your phone calls in the sales game, in your profession of invitations, of prospects, of clients, and go swing 100 times, go have 100 attempts, 100 presentations, and miss 70% of those, and be successful at 30%, but make millions of dollars? Is it worth it? Do you see the connection of what successful batters, successful sluggers can do? Batting 30%, missing 70% of the time, as well as a sales agent with the phone calls, the invitations, the prospects, and swinging or striking out 7 out of 10 times and only getting 3 results. If you do it for a period of 12, 24, 36, 60 months, 5 years, 10 years, guess what? You're going to become a millionaire. Is it worth it? I'm going to share with you the secret, which is the 30% rule. You don't rise to a level of your goals, you fall to a level of your systems. Remember this, goals are good for setting direction, but systems are best for making progress. The 30% rule applies to your follow-up, your phone calls, your consistency, your predictability, your scheduling, and that's it. If you want to be successful in the sales business, I'm going to share with you the secret, which is the 30% rule. Systems equals scaling. I'm going to share with you my numbers from 2017 to 2022 in the base shop game. Here you go. You ready? 2017, we did 580 base recruits. We didn't run a minimum point base shop. That means we didn't do 83,000 every single month in production times 12 months. That's over $1 million in production to base shop. We shifted onto the captain system. Let me show you what happened in 2018. We got obsessed with one thing. And if you do that too, yourself as a marketing director, you focus on one thing. You have systems in place. You check your progress. You focus on the 30% rule. Watch what can happen to you, like what changed in our business. You ready? 2018. 1,570 base recruits. That is a 150% growth from 2017. And we ran a 1.173 minimum point base shop in 2018. 2019, 1,312 base recruits. We did 1.336 million in production in the base shop. 2020, we dropped in recruits, 827 base recruits. However, our production stayed consistent, and we ran a 1,043,000 point base shop. 2021, 903 base recruits, 1,050,000 point base shop. And in 2022, 876 base recruits and another 1,000,000 point base shop. How do we go from 580 base recruits to 1,572, doing a million, 5 years in a row, 6 years in a row now, of running an point base shop? We focus on the 30% rule, and you can too. So here's a predictable business versus unpredictable business. It's this simple. You've heard it before, but the question is, will you apply it and stay consistent for the next 60, 90, 120 days and watch your business change? Ready? 10 invites, 3 show, 1 gets started. In the recruiting business, you invite 10 people properly. You add them to a captain system so they can be properly confirmed. 3 will show up. That's a 30% rule. 1 will get started. 30 invites gets you 9 to show up. 3 agents get started. And 60 invites gets you 18 to show up. And 6 get started. That's a system. Staying predictable and adding them to a captain system so they're properly confirmed. And that's the biggest leak by most people, is that, hey, you may have an invite, but they're not properly going into the captain system so someone can professionally invite them and confirm them. Let me show you our numbers for a period of time when we went all in the captain system, and you saw the results in recruits and production. You ready? Here you go. In the month of February, when we applied this system, February 6th I'm going to go February 6th, 10th, 13th, 17th, 20th, and 24th. You ready? We invited 22 people on the captain system. We had 10 guests. 50% rule applied because we were very good in confirmations. And we had 4 agents come on board during the BOM at the office. On February 10th, 20 invites, 9 showed up. Again, nearly 50% showed up. 4 came on board. On the 13th of February, 39 invites, 13 showed up, 4 came on board. On the 17th, 22, 5 showed up, 3 came on board. 53 on the 20th, 53, 18 showed up, and 7 came on board. On the 24th, 46. You see the growth of the invitation. 46, 13, and 7 are the numbers in February. The last BOM, which is the 27th of February, 2018, we had 46 on the captains. You ready? 20 showed up, guys. 20 showed up in the base shop. 10 came on board. So nearly 50% showed up, and 50% of the people that showed up came on board. We were predictable. We got better invitations, and we got better closing. Those are the numbers in February. I'll give you the total numbers for the entire month of February. You ready? 226 on the captains. 28 average per BOM. 78 showed up. 30% of that would have been 67.8 guests, but we had 78 show up, which is a higher ratio. 35 recruits came on board from the guests. 30% would have been 23.4. That month we did 65 total recruits in the base shop. Let me show you guys in the month of March. You ready? 22 invites, 22.94. March 6th, 53.13.4. March 10th, 69.96. March 13th, 67.18.10. March 17th, 60, 25 guests. 60 invites, 25 guests. 8 came on board. 320. 59.22.6. The 24th, 53.7.3. The 27th of March, 46.14 and 5. And the 31st, 39.14 showed 6 guests. Total for the month of March, 468 on the captains. 52 was an average per BOM on the invitations. 131 guests showed up. That's 27.9% if you do the math. 52 recruits came on board. That's 39% conversion. Total recruits for the month of March 2018, 211 total recruits is what took place in the month of March. Momentum took place. Here's April's total. You ready? April's total. You ready? 315 on the captains. 39 average per BOM. 96 showed up. You know what that number equals? Exactly 30%. And 29 came on board. You know what that number equals? Exactly 30%. That month, in the month of April, we did 122 recruits in the month of April. The system works. The 30% rule works if you focus on the fundamentals and you focus on the front end. Don't worry about the results. Focus on the front end, and you'll get what you want on the back end. Now, let me show you conversion. On the front end, you focus on recruiting. You recruit to build, you recruit to sell, you recruit to scale. Let me show you the conversion. If you go and get 64 recruits in a month, for example, times a top 25 list, that's 25 new markets. That's 1,600 new markets that you're in. At a very low closing ratio of 30%, that's 480 applications or families helped. An average 1,000 points per application. That's, if you do $100 a month, that's times 12, that's 1,200. We're talking about $75 a month, very small. You do 1,000 points per application, that's $480,000 you're doing in a month in production. You take your contract level, you take the splits, the kind of money you can make, okay? Smaller numbers for you, 10 recruits times top 25s, okay? That's 250 new markets. At a 30% closing ratio, which is very low, 75 applications, families help, that's 1,000 points each. That's $75,000 a month that you're doing a production premium. You multiply that times 12 months, you're nearly doing a 1 million point base shop by getting into 25 new markets. You get 10 recruits and 25 new markets if you do the math right, okay? Next, smaller numbers for you, 10 recruits only times 10 new markets, or top 10s only, not even top 25s. That's 100 new markets that you're in. 30% closing ratio, that's 30 applications, families helped. you do 1,000 points per application. You're doing $30,000 a month in production and premium. You take your contract level, that's $15,000 of income for you, $20,000 of income for you, $25,000 of income for you, only because you focus on what? The 30% rule. You focus on feeding your business. On the back end, you get the results if you stay focused on the fundamentals, the systems, the phone call, the follow-ups, and the conversion. Listen, if it were for Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Mike Trout, these are batting legends, these are baseball legends or sluggers that are averaging 300 at bat, then you as a successful salesperson, if you're willing to focus on you hitting 30%, you missing 7 out of the 10 times, you focus on just knocking out three home runs, 3 at-bats, get on base, you're going to have these successes. Done it over the years. The biggest challenge is the boring things will bore you, period. You're not willing to make the phone calls. You're not willing to show up. You're not willing to learn the scripts. You're not willing to show up consistently. You're not willing to be predictable. You're not willing to do the boring things. The boring things are what pays you. Think about all these batters that bat and they miss and they strike out and they walk. They don't hit the ball 7 out of 10 times. Amateurs worry about that. Professionals don't. Professionals know that they can just get on base. If they can just go up to bat, if they can just go out one, they go up to bat and swing and get on base, that's how these guys go out there and win. So you as a successful salesperson in this industry or any industry, you focus on the 30% rule, improving on practicing, drilling, rehearsing your follow-up, your scheduling, you showing up, staying predictable, learning the numbers, driving the numbers for a long period of time, not a short period of time. You're going to build stamina, you're going to build the endurance, you're going to build the strength to be one of the best in your profession. Most people just wing it. They're amateurs, they're posers, they don't want to be professionals. The professionals focus on the 30% rule. Hope this helped you. My name is Jose Gaitan. Make sure you subscribe and share. Looking forward to sharing more value with you on the next video.